I have to jump in real quick. Do you all want to hear a story about the toilet like I do? The toilet in the picture.
Oh. Well, I'm kind of like Yogi Berra. He, when he was going to give a commencement speech, he told everybody, I'm not a very good speaker, so I'll try to keep it as short as long as I can. And that's what I'll try to do, too. It's really a special night for me, particularly since Alex is getting my successor at Chadron State is getting the award, got the award for the Outstanding Sports Information Person. Man, he's brought the Sports Information Department at Chadron State College a long, long ways from where the old guy had it. And he's a much better photographer and a much better organized. His office is really neat and tidy, and mine is the complete opposite. He's got us all in all this technology stuff that I didn't know anything about, and it's been a good thing. And he's not only one of the best sports, or a great sports information director in the RMAC, he's one of the best sports information directors no matter where it is, anywhere, and does a great job all the time. Anyway, I think that Chris said something about there were 7.7 million high school athletes in the United States now. Well, this guy was not one of them some 55 or 56 years ago. I was never even honorable mention all backyard. I never made the all recess team or anything like that. I was just not very good in anything I did athletically. When the word leaked out that I was going to get this award, I suppose because of something that Alex had written, one of my high school and college friends that knew me very, very well sent me a note, and he says, geez, Marshall, you're getting some kind of an award for athletics, and you never even had to sweat for it. Because I never sweat much because there wasn't much opportunity. But I always envied and I enjoyed and I appreciated athletics, and I became a fan and have enjoyed that from the tip of my toes to the top of my head or something like that. Anyway, all over the place, because I really, really have enjoyed that. In high school, I did go out for football. I was not only small, I weighed about 100 pounds then. I've about doubled that since then, and I'm not very proud of that. But anyway, I was also scared. I was really slow. But I think the coaches really liked me. When I was a freshman, well, everybody was going to get to suit up, every player. But then it was snowing, and lots of snow, wet snow, and the coach finally came in and he said, we won't be able to suit up everybody because I need somebody to have a towel and keep the ball dry. And Marshall, you're the guy that's going to do that. I don't think they were going to miss me on the football field any that day, you know, so I got to keep the ball dry. That was kind of fun. It's kind of interesting that a few years later, when I was a senior and I was in the principal's office and we were talking about my Iowa test scores, and the coach happened to walk in the office, and about the time that the principal asked me, well, Marshall, what would you like to do? What do you think you'd like to do? And one of the things I listed and said, well, I think I might like to be a sports writer. And I'll bet that coach about fell through the floor when he heard that somebody like me wanted to be a sports writer. But by then I was devouring box scores and carrying a notepad oftentimes to ball games so I could keep a little better score of the game than I could get. And I didn't have to wait until the newspaper came out. We didn't have the internet in those days, you know, and things like that. So I really did enjoy sports. And when I got a chance to go to work for the Chadron Record, soon after I graduated from college, they'd pay me $90 a week. I worked probably 70 hours a week to fill up all the pages. We had no internet. We had no AP wire. Everything had to come out of a typewriter, an old manual typewriter. That's what we wrote it up on. And 90% of it was stuff, I did not have to write the weddings, but I wrote almost everything else that was in the paper. I think I got paid about $1.25 an hour, but I tell you what, I enjoyed that job a whole lot. I really, really did, and I still enjoy those kinds of things. And as was mentioned a little bit ago, sports information work was a lot different then. I carried a clipboard and with stat sheets on it. Took pictures along the sideline. Come to think of it, I still do that. Even though Alex is up in the booth with all kinds of stuff, and 2 minutes after the game is over, he can push a button and the whole world can know what Chadron State stats were. It took me sometimes 2 hours to get everything all figured up, calculated afterwards. Probably 3 more hours to develop all the film in the dark room so I could send it out the next day. But that's okay. And then Peg would be at home, and if maybe one of the other coaches was out on the road and sending back the stuff, and she would take the notes in the booth, you know, or on our home, and tell us about it. And of course, if a coach lost, they were pretty short. They were not very happy to talk about that, and we had to try to figure out the stats and everything. I hope I was fairly kind to her on the stuff that she had, but I really appreciated that anyway. Anyway, I always like to tell the athlete stories. I like to get the stats out as soon as I could, particularly to the hometown newspapers, and let the people back home know what had taken place and what was going on. I am truly thankful that I was paid all these years for doing something that I really, really have enjoyed a whole lot. And I'm just glad that Chadron State got into the RMAC conference, because otherwise we wouldn't be having very many home games, because the teams from eastern Nebraska won't come out to play Chadron State in the western end of the state, particularly if we're going to have a good team. So it's been a blessing to be in the RMAC and to be associated with all the great people that have been in the RMAC, and really, really appreciate that. That's probably about enough for me, but I want to introduce some people that are here tonight. It's pretty great to have Dr. Ryan, the president of the college here, Randy Ryan, Joel Smith, the athletic director here. Of course, Alex is here with his fiancee, Brittany. We have some people from the Eagles Booster Club, Randy Bauer here, and Bob Zam came over. And we have some great athletes that are former athletes, and Randy was one of them at Chadron State of here. The Ballman brothers, both of them in our Athletic Hall of Fame, are here tonight. Appreciate them being there, here tonight. And at this table over here, and I better check my list a little bit on this. Because I was flabbergasted when so many showed up, and I really couldn't lie about saying I was a great athlete here, because among those that are here tonight are my cousin Harry Marshall and his wife Linda. We were high school classmates in Chadron. Harry didn't go out for track until I was out for track as a junior. I finally got Harry to come out, and he went jogging with me one night, and he outran me so far it wasn't even, I was supposed to be a distance runner at the high school, and he outran me so much, and he winds up setting the school record and getting to go to the state track meet. So I guess I did some recruiting for Chadron High School way back then. But anyway, I couldn't lie about them, and I just appreciate they live down at Holyoke, and I'm glad that they're here. We have other people here tonight. We have Cactus Shumway, a long time friend from Chadron, and everybody in town knows Cactus and Chadron, and he's got more friends than you shake a stick at. Steve Grimm here was a great football player at Chadron State, our first All-American wrestler. Bob Wood was a great basketball player and also coached the Eagles. Don Reel is here, and this coming week, he and Larry will be on the campus at Chadron State as the all-time best basketball team in Chadron State history. The one that went to the national tournament will be holding a reunion, and those two guys were very instrumental in organizing that. We also have Randy Lubash and Jerry Messman and other people, and the biggest surprise of all, I suppose, tonight was Pat Cullen, too, who was also both a football player and a wrestler at Chadron State, and thank you, Pat, for coming over, and Sam Pegues, who was a I think a 6 or 7-time Big 8 high jump champion. He came to Chadron State and was a graduate assistant there, and we had some really great times together, particularly coming back one night when we got a drunk driver off the road on our way back from Wayne, Nebraska, and anyway, we had a good time, didn't we, Sam? Anyway, I just want to appreciate that. I want to introduce my family to you here. We're probably more of a musical family, except for me, than we are an athletic family. But Aaron and Sarah are music teachers at Juanita, Nebraska. Sarah's my daughter. Aaron is our son-in-law. Tyler, who was and we're getting some generation improvement a little bit in basketball. He was a 3-time all-conference basketball player. Perry is here with his family. They live here in Colorado Springs, Perry and Katie and their 3 kids. And I want to mention also one more thing, because we have Paul here tonight, our oldest grandson. He made academic all-state in basketball this year, but he really, the highlight of his basketball season, at the post-prom party, they drew his name out of a hat, and he hit a half-court shot and earned $30. So.